Welcome to the Good Karma Sportfishing Podcast. I'm your host, Captain Ryan Van Fleet. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So I'm super excited to share about a new online course I just released today. It's called Solunar and Tide Trip Planning Success. I am so excited about it because I get a ton of questions about it, about planning. How do you know when to book a trip? Why are some guys catching more fish than others and they do it on a more consistent basis? Okay, so I intentionally created and designed this online course to take you beyond the YouTube video and help you make the most out of your time on the water, no matter what the level of angler. So I kind of started with the beginning and went to the intermediate, and I did a little bit more advanced in there as well. So you'll have to find out what that is. So there are a ton of nuggets and tools for everyone. And you guys know me, I like to slide stuff in there that, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. Or it's some of this stuff is just going to open your eyes a little bit. There is a lot in this video. It's less than an hour and it's no fluff and no BS. Here are a few highlights from it. I'm just going to list a couple. What to look for first. The puzzle. How to piece it together. Number 2, the top secret charter client information for the best catch rate. This is something that the charter boat guides use, and this is something I've been doing for years when guys call me, the regular clients, or they booked with me, and they'll be like, when they have flexibility on when they can travel. So if you have flexibility on when you can travel and fish, then I highly suggest that you purchase this course, okay? I give you a tool that is so easy that's going to change the way your things are happening for you when it comes to fishing. Okay, and that includes guys that are booking with other guides as well. So just FYI. And number 3, how and why a YouTube video on the moon phases isn't always accurate. I go into depth, okay? There's a lot of fluff on YouTube, so I bust the myths and I tell you guys exactly what you should be looking for. No YouTube BS, okay? Number 4, what do I consider, quote, the Bible? This is what I mean by Bible is what I use on a consistent basis as far as planning goes, and what I teach others as far as what you should look for, okay? Number 5, I cover 4 tools, including the tidal coefficients, and I break it down to make it super easy for you, okay? Guys, these are all tricks that I've learned from getting my ass kicked. And I threw in some nuggets in there, of course. And I've been wanting to create a new online course because I haven't done one in a while. So at $22, this is a great course that you can learn from. You don't have to be an expert. You can be at any level. I start out from the basics, and I work my way up a little bit in this course. So it's all going to make more sense to you. And also, you're going to learn about how I teach in my style. The value is insane. I got to tell you what, I loaded this up with some really good stuff. I gave you some great tools that are free that you can learn, that you can use. So I caught some flack for what I'm teaching you guys. I got some messages that tells you that what I'm teaching is people don't want you to know. So buying this course is another course that anglers don't want you to have, okay? Because it gives you some information that others feel that you don't need, okay? So here it is. This is the building block for you. Now let's get on to this week's podcast. Okay, boy, it's starting to get warm early out there, and what I've been seeing, yesterday I was doing some reef fishing with a good client, Vince, on Sunday, and we had big packs of schoolies swim up into the chum, and I was fishing in 85 feet, and I was fishing for groupers. The grouper bite's insane, but there's lots of bull sharks out there along the reef. So I just encourage you guys to use caution, especially if you're going swimming this year. It's a different year with these sharks. They seem to be acting a little funny. So just use caution, and when you're out there diving and stuff, but not to scare anybody. It's just a different. The sharks are being a little goofy, I guess you can say, a little bit more aggressive. But we lost a few to sharks. But anyhow, we did manage to catch Vince did get his black grouper, and that was the main target species that day. I get a lot of clients that just want to go catch one black, and that's all they can catch actually when they're by themselves. So the bite was really good. I was very happy with it. So they had a good current. Also, too, we did have the schoolies, which packed in. What that means is if there's a lot of schoolies in shallow, then the bite lit up out in the deep water. So we had a good southeast breeze. We get a couple days of southeast breeze, and that when intense heat sets in, that kind of kicks off the summer schoolie season. And we had the new moon. The bite was really good on the new moon. The guys that found the debris piles did very well. So one thing I want you guys to look at when you're looking at the Satfish stuff, and we call it, it's kind of become kind of a catchphrase here: Satfish and coffee in the morning. So when you pull up your Satfish, the biggest thing to look at is to find out where that Gulf Stream edge is at. And the Gulf Stream edge has been in fairly close. There's been lots of nice blue water that's been in close. The water temperatures have been, just the regular stuff, but they've heated up pretty good. So you've got the golden rule for you guys this summer is to look for, pull up your Satfish, find out where the edge of the Gulf Stream's at, very easy, and then you start looking for the cooler water out in the Gulf Stream, and so that's very important. But what happens is you'll have nice cool water in close, and when I say in close to shore, and that's when things will open up for you. Strong easterly breezes do that; it pushes it in, or you just have nice cool water that's moving through the keys, which brings in lots of school fish and lots of good activity. So, listen. The edge of the Gulf Stream, we were doing pretty good for the past couple of weeks. We were finding them in 550, 650 feet. And then, you start pushing out, you don't see much. So sometimes those fish are in, shallower. So don't discount that. So don't overrun the fish this time of year. The only way to kind of figure that out is has some insider information. And then number 2 is to look for your Satfish and then do the best you can do. I plug in the numbers. I had a lot of success dolphin fishing the last couple times I went on it. I got on them right away. I plugged in the numbers off the Satfish, and boom, I was on them. I was out by myself one day. I'm trying to take one day where I can, one day a month if I can, to do some recreational fishing for myself as far as a day off goes that I can enjoy. Being out on the water, and I go dolphin fishing. I don't go bottom fishing, and the days that I've gone out, I've easily caught my limits of 10 fish per person. So that's by myself using the Satfish, and that's not even really going hardcore at it. So just know that. I've been using a couple different products. One new product I'm using is called Linesider Tackle. It's a good. You can go to linesidertackle.com. I'm using a product called the Hump Buster. It's a pretty cool little type of skirt. It's that you can just go on there and check it out for yourself. It's a little different. It's got a mylar on it. It's all cut, and it's cut like a tail. It has a tail cut on it. Gives it a little swag at the end. So I would highly suggest you guys check that out. I'm not sponsored by Linesider Tackle, but the fish have been jumping all over it. So I run them out of the outriggers to keep them out of the weeds. It's a great little duster. It's not a duster. It's a great little lure. So I would, and there's been reports of, I saw some reports of some guys catching some wahoo on these things, and he's stepping up his game with that, as well as making some wahoo lures. So something to check out. I also am using I'm using my absolute favorite is the bait strips. Okay. You cannot go wrong with adding that to your, especially when it comes to dolphin fishing. So I would just pick up a pack and add some bait strips on there, and you're golden. And then you're obviously, your rigged squid, and then your bonito meat, your bonito strips. And my favorite to run is I'm a rigged ballyhoo guy. I always will be. But I like to incorporate a little bit of lure setup in there, especially if if I'm on a schoolie bite and they're eating anything. I don't want to be having to get short bit by schoolies. So if I have a good lure setup in there, that the schoolies are jumping on and then that they're legal, then I'll stay with that setup and catch them. And also too, I've been getting a ton of questions about like the bridle setup I have for mutton snappers. So it is, it can be like it's hard for me to explain what I do when it comes to that tie method. If you're not in the Good Karma rigging crew, if you're not in any of my courses, like I have one course available called the Mutton Crusher. It's an older way I tie it. For example, it's not how I currently tie it, but it works very well. You can purchase that course. So, but if you want to know how I do it right now, I'm going to be, I talk about that in the GSK Crew 2.0. Okay, the Good Karma Rigging Club. That's where I'm going through, and then the guys will put what they want to learn as far as videos in a thread, and then I tie it for them, or I make it for them, or I show them where to get it. This little tricks with bait too. I show them that in there. There's a lot that we're doing in there. I'm super excited about the 2.0. I just love it. So if you guys want to become part of that, you can go to my website and goodkarmafishingtackle.com. And then go to you go into courses and clubs, and then just purchase the rigging crew. It's a monthly subscription, and yeah, it's awesome. And you can get in there and you can ask me where the dolphin are at. I'll give you the depths, all that good stuff. Anything you want to know as far as that kind of stuff, dolphin depths, and if you're coming down, just some intel. I can tell you what I know. So also too, I'm getting a lot of questions about the bridle system that I use for mutton snappers, okay? You're going to see that bridle system for those that are members of In the Spread, okay? You're going to see it working again, and you guys in the Spread, I just finished shooting an awesome how-to video with them on drift fishing, and that video is going to be available on their platform, inthespread.com. It's an awesome platform, lots of cool videos on there. Great library, you can never get enough. So I'm going to be an instructor on In the Spread and doing videos for them, another video for them in the future. But we just completed a video of where I targeted specifically large mutton snappers, and you'll see the results with the baits that we used. And those baits I'm talking about more in depth in the Good Karma Rigging Crew Club as well, and in my courses as well. So when it gets released, I'll announce it, but you guys can go to inthespread.com and check it out and see what other videos you got. You guys may want to join. So give it I love it. I'm a member of it, and I've been a member of it forever, for a very long time, because I'm never I'm never dialed in. I am always wanting to learn something. And when I talked to the owner of In the Spread, he was like, "You'd be amazed at who is part of our platforms," and it's like some very well-known captains. And he told me when he called and he asked some of the captains why they were members, and he's like, "Hey, we're always looking for something that we can learn." And one thing that's cool is that there's stuff in Australia, there's stuff all over the world, and that's why I joined, is I wanted to see how they did it in Australia, how they did it in Hawaii, different stuff like that. So plus I like the freshwater stuff in there too, because I still like to watch different guys catch muskies and largemouth bass, and that's something that I really enjoy. So is watching the freshwater fishing, because that's how I grew up. So also, like I said in the video, you're going to see using the bridle system. The bridle system can be, like I said, can be complicated to make, and that's something I'm doing in the Good Karma Rigging Crew 2.0. But if you want to get a bridle system that works, then I highly recommend that you buy the bridle system through the tackleroom.com. Okay, they have a bridle system that is for planers, and it's made of Jerry Brown hollow core, small swivels, and it also has inline loops in there. And what those inline loop there, it's like everything is like streamlined, and it has loops as well within the bridle, so you can attach a weight that way as well with and then it's not going to break. You don't have to use floss or any of that shit. So it's already done. So just go to thetackleroom.com, and I'll put a link in the bio. I am an affiliate for the Tackle Room. I've been buying from them forever, and their customer service is amazing. So I'll put the link in the bio, and you guys can, purchase a couple of them. They last, and they're great. And then you guys can look at them, and you guys can, they got the small swivels. It's what you guys need to reel through the guides on your rods. So it's a great bridle system for attaching the balloonfish or king clips with the zip tied weight. Okay, so we're getting more into the dolphin stuff. Things are happening out there. How deep should I focus, Captain? You start with this time of year. They could be like, I've caught them anywhere off the reef. It's a weird year, guys. There's no sargassum weed. The water temperatures are really different. So I've seen this 8 years ago when we had another El Nino, and I've caught them right off the edge of the reef, the big ones, in July. Don't discount no wahoo being around. It's way different this year. It's something, the water's just different. The currents are different. So it's not your typical average summer. We don't have much rain. We are going to start seeing some rain here this year. This end of the week, this week. Golden rule of thumb, start in 750, work to 850, work that zone. You'll want to look at the Satfish and learn how to read the altimetry chart, and that will really help you on where to be, okay? So that's something I'll be talking about more in the future, but if you go and learn where the altimetry and where to read that's where you're going to find 90% of your dolphin. So then you'll look at 950 and then out to the sword grounds 1200. So, and then as the day progresses, you're gonna, the sun will come up, the sky will get blue, and then you'll see the change in light. And if you don't see them going out, you'll see the change in light, and then the fish will wake up a little bit later in the morning, around 9 o'clock, and then you'll find them in like 750, 850, that zone there. I know that as the later in the summer it gets, the deeper that they get, okay? So just know that. I look at it last July, late July, they were an average of 950 foot of water, 850. The new moons tend to be the best times to catch the dolphins, I feel. The sky is dark at night, and the fish tend to rise up in the morning. Sometimes when it's really hot, the fish will eat really early in the morning and be done. Seen that happen, and sometimes they don't wake up until 9-10 o'clock. So it just really just depends. So you have to go out and put your time in, and you'll be rewarded. So just had lots of little different nuggets to talk about here. And so that's all I got for today. Had a lot of information I wanted to share. Again, dolphin fishing, your golden rule, the reef 175. I'm going to give you a little bit of a count. You go 100. Go 175 foot, you start looking. If you see birds, give them a pass. You go out a little bit, 450 along the broken bottom, off Isla Mirada. And then you keep pushing out. I caught a couple nice schoolies that were keepers inside of the hump and 550 the other day. Easy pickings. On the line slider tackle, the hump busters. And then from there, you can do a pass on the hump and catch some tunas and then blast out. Either you go south down to the rips. That's the best dolphin fishing in the Keys. South is the rips, the Isla Mirada rips, and head down to the west hump area, the east hump. Focus on that zone. Really good bottom down there. Really good fishing between the 409 hump, the 408 hump. To the east hump, right through there. Focus on that zone. Then like I said, south is the best, and then you just keep going out past 409, down to the west hump, down to Cuba, so, down to Marathon, past Marathon. I'm just kidding. Okay, so I'm gonna dig more into the dolphin tips on my Instagram every week. I'm gonna tell you where they're at based on what I know. So I don't really care. A lot of guys try to hide it, and the fish are moving around so much it doesn't really even matter. So there's lots of tricks to dolphin fishing. It's super easy. Anybody can do it. Anybody can find a piece of debris. Just have good eyesight. Get yourself some bifocals, improve your eyesight. Bring something along that you can throw at a floater, a buoy or something when you find a buoy, so you don't lose the log and all that good shit. But that's all I got. Tune in here. Follow me on Instagram, Good Karma Sportfishing _FL _keys, and I'll be telling you where the dolphin are at weekly. You'll have to see that refishing report. Also, when you go in there, you'll see fishing report, and that's probably where I'm gonna, or there'll be a highlight. Where are the dolphin? And then you'll see. I'll just tell you where they're at. Got something super cool coming for the clients of Good Karma Sportfishing. You are gonna want to book for July because the fish are gonna get their asses kicked. We're taking it to the next level. Because fishing right now and the amount of pressure, you have to adjust to it, and I'm adjusting to it, and so I'm making some changes, and the fish are going to get their asses kicked. So, and my clients are going to reap the reward. So you will need to book as soon as possible for July, because I'm not going to tell you what it is. You'll have to soon. You'll see it on my Instagram. What we're going to do, and I'm doing it right this time. Okay, follow me on YouTube. Good Karma Sportfishing. You'll see some shorts. You might learn something. You'll learn that my secret weapon is the pink sock. Oh my gosh, the pink sock. I can't wait to catch more fish on the pink socks. Okay. That's all I got, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, anytime you're fishing, it's all good.